everybody, and welcome to the Thursday preview and to what is an absolutely freezing cold United Kingdom in our outdoor studio. We've got Megan Birch just behind waiting to come on. She's shivering like mad. And I just want to ask you a quick question. Megan, whose idea was it to have an outdoor studio?
You.
Yeah. Sorry about that, everybody. It's my idea, and I'm sorry for Megan for freezing. And apologies for why I look like Jack Sugden from Emmerdale. But it's an incredibly comfortable coat, and I'm actually quite warm with a scarf. Megan, on the other hand, is wearing a green shirt, dress combo thing, so she's actually going really, really cold, and we'll hear from her in a few minutes' time. But it's round 3 of the season after the Bahrain Grand Prix, and what a race it was. We move on, though, to the 1000th Grand Prix. So Formula 1 journeys to Shanghai this week for the third round of the 2019 FIA Formula 1 World Championship, the Chinese Grand Prix. There is an air of celebration here at the circuit as the momentous occasion in Formula 1's history for the 1000th race in the championship's 70-year history. It's the 16th running of the Chinese Grand Prix after the 2004 race, and we come here with Valtteri Bottas still leading the Drivers' Championship on 44 points, and he leads it with that one extra fastest lap bonus point he got in Australia. Otherwise, him and Lewis Hamilton would have actually been level on points coming to China after Bottas victorious in Australia and Hamilton victorious in Bahrain. Max Verstappen is third at 27 points. He is 2 ahead of Charles Leclerc, who finished on the podium last time out. It should have really been the victory though. Moving further down, we've got Sebastian Vettel 5th, Kimi Raikkonen 6th, Lando Norris is in 7th place as well. And if we drop further down as well, it's only 5 drivers without any points. Antonio Giovinazzi, George Russell, Robert Kubica, surprisingly Daniel Ricciardo, Carlos Sainz and Romain Grosjean, who's the only driver not to finish both races so far this season. In the Constructors' Championship, Mercedes lead the way. 44 points in Australia, 43 points in Bahrain. That makes 87 in total. Scuderia Ferrari second on 48. Aston Martin Red Bull Racing are on 31. And then we get Alfa Romeo fourth, best of the rest, on 10 points. McLaren are on 8, the same with Rich Energy Haas F1. Renault has 6. Red Bull Toro Rosso Honda has 3, the same as the Racing Point team, but Williams in 10th with no World Championship points. So it was Bottas victorious in Australia, Lewis Hamilton victorious in Bahrain. We're in China now for the 1000th Formula 1 Grand Prix. 2 weeks' time, it's Azerbaijan, followed by Spain and Monaco, a trip to North America for Canada, and back to Europe for 3 races in France, Austria and Great Britain, before heading to Germany and Hungary in August for the summer break, back to Belgium and Italy, and then the flyaways in Singapore, one more brief stop off in what is technically Europe and Russia, followed by Japan, and then the Americas with Mexico, USA, Brazil, and the last race in the desert in Abu Dhabi in December. And what a race it has been so far for the 2019 World Championship. Australia we thought was brilliant. Bahrain was absolutely fantastic. Shanghai should be something unbelievable. But joining me for the 1000th race and coming in this side of the camera, unlike what we had to do last time out when we filmed the previous show, Megan, I apologise so much that you've had to come out here without a jacket on. It is absolutely freezing, but still 1000 races, and it's hard to imagine it started back in 1950. I want some of your memories throughout the years for 1000 Grand Prix.
I remember, was it Alonso going over top, I think, Leclerc last year?
Yep, the Belgian Grand Prix.
And it's when there was a pile-up.
98? Spa again?
Yeah.
What about the first race you ever commentated on? That sticks out in my head. 2012 Australia. Well, that was the first time me and you commentated together. That was a great race.
Yeah, though, one memory that's always stuck with me about Formula 1 is, I think it was Abu Dhabi 2009.
Is that when Vettel won, Button was the champion already?
Yeah. I don't know why it sticks out in my mind. I mean, I don't think there was any crashes in it.
Not to my knowledge. No, first Abu Dhabi Grand Prix though.
It always sticks in my mind.
I want your favourite driver in history.
Alonso.
Yeah, obviously. I've got to go with Ayrton Senna. I'm Michael Schumacher actually, pretty much joint there. But I want you, Megan, to give me your favourite race of all time. And I've got mine ready, so you can fire the question back in a minute. But what's your favourite race ever?
What individual race?
Yeah. Not as in like a circuit. What individual race is in year and that lot. This is quite a tricky one, I know. It took me about an hour to figure out what mine would be.
I would have to say.
Oh, she's getting close on an answer, aren't you?
Yeah.
Do you want to know what mine is?
Yeah, because I can't remember exact. I can't remember whether it was that year or not.
Well, what track are you thinking of?
Germany.
What happened in the race? I can pretty much nail it down for you.
There was a lot of crashing.
Germany and a lot of crashes. Well, that's gonna.
I've got an image in my mind because it was like a really massive crash. Was it?
Was it with Michael Schumacher? Did Bertie go over the top?
Yeah,
2001 then.
that was the one.
Yes, I showed you that one. Obviously, you were born 2005.
Wasn't okay, wait, when did Murray Walker leave?
2001. James,
What race?
USA.
Right, so because I remember him commentating on that.
Well, it was Alan. It was James Allen in the commentary box for that one. You sure it wasn't Bertie? 2001 Belgium.
Yeah, I remember like him somewhere.
Well, I've shown you a lot of Murray over the years. My favourite race ever is the 2011 Canadian Grand Prix, the longest race in history. 4 hours long with a 2-hour red flag period. And you were you were in the commentary box. I don't think you were commentating there.
I remember that race.
You remember the race though? Jenson Button hit off his teammate Lewis Hamilton, did 7 pit stops, was stone dead last when the red flag came out, and got up and on the last lap overtook Sebastian Vettel after he span. And of course we've seen what Sebastian Vettel does when he spins recently. But yeah, 2011 was my favourite race in Canada. Okay, Megan, this weekend, the 1000th race, you're with us for the race and I think a bit of qualifying. I know you're in the preview show as well on Sunday morning. Well, yeah, for the broadcast time. What are you looking forward to this weekend? It's cold. There's a massive, you wouldn't be able to hear it, but a massive gust of cold wind just shot up as well, Megan. So, 1000th race, you want to go because I'm getting in my ear. What do you want to, best memory? Where are we?
Wanting to know what you're looking forward to.
Thank you for getting me back on track. The cold weather's disrupting everything. Go on.
I want a new driver to win that's never won before because then that will just set the marker for all the other races to come.
You'll be doing better at this than I am today. Charles Leclerc?
Yes.
Okay, well, thank you, Megan. Anything to leave on?
It's freezing.
Yeah, I thought so. You go now. Thank you, Megan. So let's take a look at the Shanghai International Circuit. And for the 1000th race, I went on the simulator on the Codemasters F1 2018 game. I chose a car just a little bit special to my history as well, because it's actually the first car I ever owned as a figurine, the 1998 McLaren. Over to you. So I'm going to show you a lap now, 2 laps in fact, of the Shanghai International Circuit, and I've chosen a very special car, being the 1000th race. I'm in the 1998 Mercedes MP4-4, and this thing is just a piece of art, and you can't honestly say to me that there's anything else I should be driving on the simulator for the 1000th race than this masterpiece. Round turn 3, on the outlap, just showing you around. It's a tight, twisty first section, but it really opens up by the time you end the first sector. A hard braking zone, all the way down to second gear, late apex to get the power on early. We've seen that last year and the year before. Here's a very good overtaking spot as well. Max Verstappen wanted to make the overtake right over here last year, and if you remember, I'll show you, ended up cutting across the grass and rejoining here to let Daniel Ricciardo through, and of course later we saw that Ricciardo took the lead and won the race from Bottas. In fact, I even had a dream last night about that very overtake between Ricciardo and Bottas. It was that good. I watched the last year's race that night, and it was in my dreams. Oh, late break there, getting through. It's just showing you then, this is my outlap, and I'll cut to the camera view and commentate on a lap. This long sweeping turn 11 complex to get you right back out down the back straight. It's over a kilometre long. This is what you're looking at the DRS, and this is going to be key on Sunday for the Mercedes and the Ferraris. Let's just listen to this engine sing. Downshifts are lovely on it. Right, let's get ready then for a lap. There's the off-board just quick. There's a beautiful car. You ready? You steady? Let's go. On board. Right, turn 15, attacking hard on the warm-up lap, and away you go. 4th gear, 5th gear, and across the line. Down now towards turn 1. And a 2019 Formula 1 car, I should say. You brake, lift off, down 2 gears, just let the car sort of drift in ever so slightly on the accelerator as you drop down to 2nd gear and just let it coast all the way around turns 3 and 4, very tight the exit, dropping down to 2nd gear in this one. And now that's the first sector. It's tight, it's twisty, it's full of right-handers, so it's full of right-handers. Then you get another one down all the way 2nd gear, even in a 2019 car, same as it is in 98, to get a nice powerful exit. 3rd gear, 4th gear, 5th gear, just pull it. It just feels immediately wanting to grip, but I can feel it through the force feedback wheel. The turbo lag is just causing a hell of a lot of problems, and the tyres aren't up to temperature yet. Turn 9 and 10, drop down 2nd gear, even mid-corner you've got to pull up. 3rd gear, 4th gear, 5th gear, leaving in that, because a heavy braking zone before you come onto the back straight. And this little bit here, you've got to lift off and then get the power down immediately. But the handle of the car just wants to spin you around. But you've got to hold it. Look how much wheel turning I'm having to do to correct. Just stay on the road. 6th gear, down the back straight, keep it as straight as possible. But the force feedback is jaggling the wheel. It's now visible on the screen as well. 6th gear is all I've got. Slam on the brakes. Very late drop down to 1st gear to get the power on the exit. That's where Verstappen hit Vettel last year. And up to the last corner now. Brake down 2 gears, drift it through, get a nice power on the exit. Giovinazzi crashed there and at the pit wall 2 years ago. Thanks, Jeff. I'm 10 seconds off the pace of a quick car. So, the 1,000th ever Formula 1 race. The 700, the first one was back at the British Grand Prix at Silverstone, 13th of May, 1915. Nino Farina won in an Alfa Romeo, Alfa back this year. My big question is this race going to live up to the previous classics we've had with the 100th Grand Prix? The 700th was the 2003 Brazilian Grand Prix. I'll take an off-board so you can see the car now. That race, if you remember, Interlagos, wet, red flag till lap 54. Completely wrong order on the podium as well. It was Fischer Keller's last win, Jordan's last win. Raikkonen thought he'd won it. Alonso wasn't even on the podium. He was in the medical centre being treated after a nasty accident after hitting Mark Webber's wheels. Race 800 was the Singapore Grand Prix, the first ever night race. And of course, we all remember what that became famous for. That was a bit sloppy, wasn't it? The crash gate with Nelson Piquet, Fernando Alonso's teammate, then winning that one. And the 900th Grand Prix, we all remember that one as well. Hamilton versus Rosberg at the Bahrain Grand Prix in 2014. Hamilton becoming on top of that one. Left us with an incredible battle for the year's title. And now race 1000 here at the Chinese Grand Prix. We first came here back in 2004. Then it was just a swampland circuit. And now it is a jewel on the calendar. And it celebrates the 1000th ever Formula 1 race here at the Jiading Capital Shanghai International Circuit. What a race for race 1000. So, absolutely freezing conditions here in the United Kingdom. I feel like Murray Walker did when he presented bike racing from the frozen south. And it is actually really cold here. Let's hope it warms up tomorrow. But what it's not cold in Shanghai at all. For the 1000th race, it's live on Sky Sports F1 throughout the weekend. Ted Kravitz returns to the fold, which is absolutely spectacular. I remember when we were in Barcelona, me and Ted had a furious discussion about McLaren and how much I personally thought they were going to be a success, and he wasn't too sure. So it's going to be good to see what he thinks of McLaren this year as well, because they're actually doing quite well into Q3 last time out. But it's going to be a good one on Sky Sports F1. So if you want to watch live, it's also on Channel 4 F1. And I think Alex Jakes is taking you through with Jolyon Palmer and Jenny Gow on the Friday and Saturday. And Jet goes back on the Sunday. But we're on air with the times now. So we're on air tomorrow at 3 p.m. UK time for the Friday practice review. Saturday is at the earlier time of 6:30. And the Sunday race preview will be at, I think it's at 5:30 UK time actually for that one. It's going to be a cracking weekend. And of course you can listen to the Grand Review on Wednesday at 8 o'clock with me and Megan discussing the weekend's action. It's going to be a crazy race weekend. Number 1000 is Mercedes going to continue their domination, or Ferrari going to strike back, or Red Bull going to play a party in the China shop. Who can tell? But it's going to be a classic weekend. Join us throughout it to find out. Bye for now.